Hello and welcome to the webinar Introduction to Coresuite Cube. My name is Raphael Hübner. I'm Partner Manager at Core Systems AG, and I very welcome you today to this webinar. It's the second of 4 webinars that we do to introduce once again our products to interested people. We had on Tuesday already first session about the first product from Core Systems, the Coresuite Country Package. This is available as a recording on our YouTube channel. And today we're gonna continue with the second one, as mentioned, the Coresuite Cube. Yes, so in the next round about 30 minutes, but I think we don't need that long. We're gonna take a look on this product, and I have a little, or maybe it doesn't look that little, but it's the agenda about the Cube. 7 bullet points. The first one is that we take a look on the advantages of the product itself. Then what's the architecture of the product, the Cube, how does it work? Then a little feature overview where we can see different kind of cubes, and then how to create their own report. I will show some examples for each of the different cubes, and in the end just some highlights that are for me very valuable to notice, and then the ROI, the return of investment, about the cube itself. We will need, I guess, about 20-25 minutes, and in case there are any questions in the end, you can ask them afterwards in the chat. So I would just start with the first point, which is the advantages of the Cube itself. So what is this? What's the case? When is the Cube useful for partners and end customers? The business case is that you have a Business One system, a SQL SAP Business One system, and you have, of course, super lot of data inside of your B1 environment, but maybe still no information. You have no clue how to create a report easily, how you can find the information, compare it with something. And so it would be nice to have some kind of a report, and this report without any program skills. And this is the moment when the Cube is the right solution, because the Cube gives you the possibility to create reports by your own. And also, you don't need any programming skills, as I said. So very important to know is that the Cube is really exclusively available for SAP Business One SQL. And there we have then different cubes for financial department or data, purchasing, sales, and also for inventory. But we will see this in another slide a little bit more in detail again. So that's the advantage of using the Cube in general. So what's the advantage for the partners? Of course, it is that you can create individual reports pretty easy for your customer, but also it's a great product for existing Business One customers that you might already have. And so it's a nice after-sale product to go to them and ask about reports if they would be interested in such a solution, and have the possibility to create maybe even reports by themselves very easily. And if the customer is then able to create reports by themselves, then they have also higher customer satisfaction. And so we get also already to the next slide, where we have the advantages of the end user. And as mentioned already, it's possible for them to create reports by themselves very easily. And also they have with the Cube already a lot of out of the box available reports, which we will see later on. And yes, so this is also a good thing for the end customer. And now about the architecture and the technology. So how does the solution actually work? We have one SAP Business One database, or otherwise we can also have several databases of B1, and the data just get gathered together, and then will be transferred to the cube. And there you have the possibility to slice and dice the information you need, or just use one of the predefined reports. And those you can then present in a PDF or paper, via browser, via Excel, or also on mobile devices. This is actually on a, let's say, very simple level how it works. And those would be the presentation forms. You can see here as example Excel. There is a report. Then we have here the browser presentation form, or via email and PDF, because you have the possibility to create a subscription that the report you created or the predefined report should be sent maybe every week to some assigned people. So this would be also a possibility how to handle it. You can see it in this slide. And that's about the presentation forms. We will see in the examples every time the Excel presentation form, because that's how we will work also to create a report then together. Next, the function overview of the cube. I mentioned earlier that there are several type or kind of cubes. Those are the 3 different kind of cubes that are available. There is a finance cube, there is a sales cube with sales and purchasing part or module, and then the inventory cube. Also, you can have all of them as a single product or as a bundle, the cube bundle. And you can see here below each cube what is as example available there, like cash flow statement report, cost margin reporting. Here's shopping basket analysis or quotation analysis, revenue, and for the inventory, it might be stock value, forecasting reports, and so on. Yeah. Oops. Next slide. Let's see. Okay. And this is then how it works in general when you want to work with the cube. We have here overview what to do. First, you choose your presentation form. This might be, as example, Excel. And then you choose the cube you want to use. Finance, sales, or purchase. Let's say it would be finance. And then you have pivot tables in Excel where you can just drag and drop the data you want, maybe some kind about date, calendar is here, the example, or you want to have revenue, you want to have items, you want to have sales employees, whatever, and you just drag and drop however you want your report until you have what you're looking for. And then you can save the report and always renew the data by just refreshing the data. And optional, you can also subscribe the report to publish it maybe to all sales employees or the management or whoever. Yes, so far about the theory and how it looks like in general. And now let's take a look into 3 different examples where you will see the 3 different cubes. The first one is the finance cube, and there is the example super, let's say, easy. We have a profit and loss with budget comparison, and there we have more or less just the out of the box cube or report, sorry. And therefore I go here into my B1 SQL system, and you can see here the module cube. And if I click on it, I have my different cubes. I have all of them: sales, purchasing, inventory, and finance. And I mentioned first off, we want to take a look on the finance one. Presentation form is in this case for me Excel, and I want a report in regards to profit and loss. You see here also balance or cash flow. And here I go in this case for the profit and loss, and it opens me my Microsoft Excel. And what I have to do is I have to enable the content. And now you see already the data gets in. And here I have now different tabs. And those tabs are the different reports. We have a profit and loss by account. We have a profit and loss by account class, by profit center, profit and loss versus budget, and always also my empty pivot table. So this is the area where I would really create a report completely by myself. And here on the pivot table fields, I have then the possibility to use all the data I want. You can see account, you can see here date calendar, then here's the year, the month, the date, and so on. And everything what I want or what I need, I can look up here and then just drag and drop. In this first example I mentioned, we just go for the profit loss versus budget. Here it is predefined with every year. I keep it super simple. You see, I even have not that much data here. I go with an old one, maybe like this, and I can see, okay, that's the profit and loss. That was the budget. I can take a detailed look just by clicking on plus and so on. And here I have the budget, the delta of the budget, and maybe in this case, just to show you how it works, I would maybe like to see the delta also in percent. So I just go here and by a drag and drop, I could put it down, but in this case, it's clear it has to be also a value. So I just click the percent and you see here, it shows me now the delta in percent. So this is an example for the finance cube, where in this case, I don't do a lot. But now let's take a look maybe on another example. I jump back quickly to my PowerPoint without jumping in presentation mode. And here we will do it now a little bit different. Here I will really create my own report. So I have the sales cube and I want to have a graphical revenue analysis by sales, employee, and item groups. And herefore we go just back into business one instead of, no, not inventory, not finance. Instead of this, we go to sales and we go to revenue because that's what we want to have information about. So I click here and this time it's not the finance cube, it's the sales cube. And you can see already again, predefined reports. I enable the content, the data gets loaded, and here we have budget versus actual versus forecast, shopping basket analysis. I also mentioned earlier revenue by customer group, by item group, and so on and so on. And here now I want just to show how quick I can create a, in this case, very simple report. And the first thing I do is I want to have the revenue. So I go to the revenue, I choose it, it's a value, so it will be automatically here. And now I go to year. So I go to date. I have the date calendar and I have the year and I can show it in a column like this. Or I can say, no, I better like it like this. Depends how I want it. But in this case, I think it might make sense to go this way. We keep it like this. And I also want, because I said I want to have information about sales employees and the revenue by item group. So I go to maybe first items. And here I have the item group and I want also this. Let's keep it here. Yes, keep it first here in the columns. And last, I go for my sales employees and put them into the rows. And now we have for all the years some data, but that's maybe a little bit too much. I don't want to have all the years. So I will insert a slicer quickly. It asks me now, what do you want to, or depending on what do you want to slice? And I want to go for the date, for the year. And now I have here this nice slicer. And let's go for, I don't know, 2016 maybe. Let's go here. And I can see now all my sales employees and for the different item groups, how much revenue they made. And now it's more or less how we know it from Excel. I want to create also a chart. Wait a second. Again, insert. No, wait. No, sorry. Again. But yeah, maybe. Haha, I'm smart. I should go first on the table, of course, and then create the pie chart. Yes, and then I have here as example a pie chart. I could go with, I don't know what kind of other chart as well if needed, like here. But I think in this case, the pie chart is pretty okay. And you can see it took me maybe, I don't know, 2-3 minutes to have a little report about, in this case, revenue, or in order to see my sales employees and the item group. And last but not least, we would also have the same, just to quickly show, the same thing for the inventory cube. Here I would also not do that much. An audit reporting means I go not to sales, I go to inventory, again, Excel inventory audit. And here again, business as usual, enable content. It will show me now the information, in this case like this, inventory trend, quantity, inventory turnover. And here are just the different reports again, so that I can take a look and adjust if I want to, as much as I can. Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't start now here to create again some kind of report, because I think it's not about the one report itself, it's more about how to do it, and it's quite simple, so this should be fine, I guess, to understand how it works in the first step. And let's then jump back to the presentation, just to mention again some things that are really nice. I said earlier already that there is the possibility to sending those reports automatically by subscribing, that you really can send them once a week with some sales information, or I don't know what you want to report. This is a good thing. And also good to mention is that it's not only about standard figures out of Business One. You can also create the reports with your own user-defined fields. Yeah, I didn't show it in the Excel, but there it looks like this here in this picture, that you have there a UDF, and then you can really just go for the category or whatever your UDF is, and it will be also displayed in the report. So you can also work with UDFs that you created especially for your company or your customer. And also, that's also a nice thing in regards to those reports. You can also work with permissions. So you have the possibility to define which data is allowed to see to the user. And here's the example that the salesperson is only allowed to see her own documents. So it's not possible that somehow the sales employee gets more information by the cube that the person actually should receive. So also here you are not in danger that somebody could figure out something if the person doesn't have the permission actually. Yes, and that's about the cube. In the end, we just can say that the costs for the cube are not high, the investment is not big, and in general, we say that it takes about 2 individual reports that are not created with the cube, that you create on, let's say, in the old way. The effort and the price for creating those is that much as when you would just buy the cube and then create those reports on this way. So it pays off very quickly. And that would be already the introduction to the Coresuite Cube. I see it took around about 20 minutes exactly. So in case that you have now some questions, you have the possibility to write them down into the chat. Otherwise, I would just say thank you very much for your attention. And in case of questions, you can, of course, send an email to us or contact me later on or another day, and we can talk about it as well then. Okay, so far I don't see any question. Therefore, I would say, yeah, once again, thank you very much for attending. In this case, I wish you all stay safe, stay home, have a good time, and stay healthy. Thank you for attending and have a great day. Bye-bye.